I'm so bad. I don't know any of the Jewish holidays. Just when traffic is.
Shabbat Shalom's always Friday.
Oh, okay.
But Jewish holidays, I don't know what's next. Hanukkah.
Oh, and you even say it good.
Because I had to go to Jew school.
Oh my God. And you had a bat mitzvah?
I had a bat mitzvah.
Bat mitzvah.
And I have Orthodox family, so.
Really?
I mean, my immediate family are the opposite. My dad raised us going to India and praying to Guru.
Oh, cool.
But I also went to Jewish school, so I had a mix of like both sides.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm kind of atheist, but I do have this Jewish blood in me, and ever since the war started, I feel more in touch with my Jewish roots. Makes me want to stand up for the Jews, and not forget that, Jews were exterminated 85 years ago in the Holocaust, so we need to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I agree. I remember years ago, I was talking to my mom, the Pentecostal side, but we were talking about the Holocaust, and she said, never forget, Julia, history can always repeat itself. Like, if you forget history, especially, it will repeat itself. And I'm like, there's never could be another Holocaust or anything like that, but it's like, damn.
It could happen.
Yeah, it could happen. So, but I like that you're Jewish, and I'm Jewish, and you say Hanukkah good. I went to my cousin's Hanukkah when I was 8. I was 8 years old. I went to my Jewish cousin's Hanukkah in Pennsylvania. But right before that, I got the Holy Ghost at my Pentecostal church. And then that summer, I went and met my Jewish cousins for the first time. I remember we were watching Gremlins. Do you remember the movie Gremlins?
Yes, of course.
I got so scared, and it was a room full of my cousins. There were like 12 of them. I've never met them. And I started to say the name Jesus because they were putting the gremlins in the microwave and they were killing them, and I was scared for the gremlins. And I was like, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And all the cousins turned around and looked at me at the same time like I was possessed. I'll never forget that moment.
Well,
my Jewish moment.
Yeah, when you're raised, with both religions, kind of.
Yeah.
Never forget that you're Jewish.
So is your dad Jewish?
Yeah, both my parents are Jewish, and they're from the South, which I feel like is kind of rare to have, Southern Jews.
Yeah, they're Southern Jews.
There's actually a big Southern Jewish community.
Oh, do they have Southern accents?
Yeah, my mom is from Arkansas, and
my mom's from Arkansas.
Oh, really?
Is that what they call Okies?
I don't know.
Or that's Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah, otherwise they'd be Arkies.
But my mom is from a small little town that's gone to shit, and it's basically all the windows are boarded up by wood because all the houses have been foreclosed, and there's just squatters all around, and it's one of those towns.
Yeah.
And then she met my dad, and they got married and moved to LA, had us. Oh, she had us and then moved us all to LA.
Okay. So. Yeah. And now you're here, and then we met.
Yeah.
And like I do nothing but recruit people for my bologna sandwich show. And we have this nice, cute little doggy.
Yeah, this is Athena. She's a 5-year-old boxer patty mix.
I feel so loved because she's putting her paw on me.
She's a sweet girl.
And I only want to pet dogs in my life.
I don't blame you. Dogs are the best.
If you only could do one thing, would it not be to pet dogs?
I love dogs.
I know.
Yeah.
Or eat ice cream.
Well, there's been times where I've taken Molly and I find myself, instead of hanging out with my friends, I go in my room and I stroke my dog for hours. Yeah. I'm like, this is the best.
I know.
And then I was doing ketamine therapy a few months ago, and one of the visions I had were of dogs being gods, and they were the size of mountains, and we worshipped them. And it makes sense because dogs, if you spell it backwards, is God.
I agree.
So
you do. It's interesting you said the ketamine because I have a good friend that just started doing that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
So I was at a point in my life where I felt angry all the time, and it was weighing me down, and depressed as well, and I needed something to change, and traditional therapy just wasn't working because you go in and you talk and it just feel like you're going in circles. And so my friend, I had broken my nose a couple years ago, and I also had a bad cocaine addiction at the time. And when I went to the doctor, he looked at my nose and was like, okay, I see that your nose is broken, but I also see that you have a huge hole in your nose from doing cocaine.
Oh.
So at that point, I was like, okay, I need to stop. But I was sober for like a month, but I was still like bitter about it. I was like, okay, I need to do something that's going to transform me and get me out of this rut that I'm in. And so I heard about ketamine therapy and how beneficial it is for people that suffer from PTSD or depression or anxiety. And I found this guy in the valley, and I went and signed up for 6 sessions, and it was like the best trip I've ever had. Not only that, but I saw results in a 3-week period. I was like a completely different person, and I've been able to let go of all the anger and trauma that was weighing me down.
Yeah.
It like resets your brain.
Damn.
And so I did that 2.5 years ago, and then I felt great. And then back in like April or May this year, I started getting a little down again, and I was like, okay, it's time to go back to therapy. Although my last therapist, the first therapist I went to was so amazing. He had this.
Is this a ketamine therapist?
Yeah, he's a doctor, anesthesiologist.
Oh my god. This is therapy.
I know.
Okay, so he's a doctor
and he has a place in Van Nuys called the Neuroketamine Clinic, and the work he does is amazing because his approach is different than most of these ketamine clinics, which are like cash cows. They just want to get you in, sit you down. They don't talk to you. They just, hook you up to an IV. But he did an approach where he does an hour of therapy first, and then puts you in a chair, hooks you up to the IV, and does hypnosis on you. And then after like 2 hours, you're done tripping, you do another hour of therapy afterwards.
Of therapy meaning ketamine, not talking therapy.
No, talking.
Talking therapy.
Yeah.
What do you think about the, I'm letting your dog make out with me while we talk. What do you think about hypnosis? That's so interesting.
I used to do hypnosis as well, but I feel like hypnosis combined with psychedelics is a lot more effective. However, so when I wanted to go back for the second round of ketamine, I Googled this guy that I went to the first time, and the first thing that popped up was that he was in the January 6th insurrection and was getting charged with
are you serious?
with being there.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Only
I was like,
LA.
okay.
Only in LA would you find something like that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I could go back to him again. But I kind of wish I did, because I went to this other place that was one of those cash grab businesses, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They did their job, but it doesn't help when you don't have anyone to talk to.
Okay, so the moral of the story is ketamine works, but like everything else, it could be what's that word where they pretty much become a cash cow, or they
Yeah, they monopolize. Well, caring about the approach, the effectiveness of it. They just want to get you in the chair, they time it, they get you out. The other guy would let you chill for a long time.
Okay, so you do production, which is how I have this really cool spot to film in, is you and your husband do production work.
Well, that's actually my ex-boyfriend.
That's your ex-boyfriend?
Yeah, we're good friends. But yeah,
that's cool.
I do production, and I have been filming a lot of comedy shows lately. Like that's my favorite thing to do.
Nice. Stand-up comedy shows?
Stand-up comedy.
What's your goal in the long run?
I'd like to film a Netflix special. I'd like to expand my production business and have a bigger team. Because right now I have one assistant, and then Chris and I work on some things together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would just like to continue down the comedy lane because it's so much fun. I love what I do.
Yeah. How did you get involved with the comedian?
I got involved with it in 2021. I was pandemic. I turned my garage into like a speakeasy because we weren't able to go out. So I'd have my DJ friends come over.
You're so cool.
And we would party. Person. And then I was at my dentist's office, and the woman cleaning my teeth was telling me that her son does comedy shows, and they were looking for a new venue, and I was renting my house at the time. Yeah. So him and I connected. His name's Max Goldman. His show's called The Green Room.
I know him. I met him.
Oh, you know him?
At a comedy show.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome.
Hi, Max.
Hey, Max. You're awesome. Anyway, we did a show here. It was a small show just in the garage, and it was so much fun. And we were like, let's do another one. We did a couple more in my backyard. We built a stage over the pool. And then I started an Instagram account just for the shows we were doing. And I started getting all these comedians asking if they could come do shows here. And we started a Mike night once a week. And that's how I met Mike. That's how I met a lot of comedians. And then I got shut down because it was a disturbance to the neighborhood.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot
Specifically because it was during COVID? Or just
No, it's because of the sound, and I had a neighbor next door that moved out, but he called every agency he could after me, from like alcoholic beverage control to building inspectors to city attorneys, and
that's LA for you.
Yeah, I had to hire a lawyer and
oh my god,
shut this shit down.
Just for doing a comedy show?
Well, it wasn't just that. I was also renting my house out for on Peer Space, which is a site where you could rent homes for production. Oh. So I have like rappers come, and it was the rappers that ruined it. You know.
Yeah, they brought all
the weed and all the
drama,
whores, and it's actually drama to the neighborhood, and that's something I don't want. So I had to shut it down, but at least I made a nice list of contacts, and I've been able to stay in the comedy scene. Yeah. Doing what I love, which is filming, and I don't have to deal with the headache of having people at my house. So perfect. Yeah.
And now it's kind of like you're on the other side. I'm filming you.
Yeah.
And at your house.
It's weird because I'm always behind the camera.
Yeah. Now, is this your first time doing it in front of the camera?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm honored. I'm easing you in because this is like just my iPad and your iPhone.
You're popping my cherry.
I'm popping your cherry.
Yeah. Put the strap on.
Oh my God. I'm putting the mental and emotional strap on.
Yeah.
And I'm giving it to you. With your
How am I doing, people?
She's doing great. I mean, next stop, fans only.
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans, I mean. Whatever. I obviously don't do
exactly.
Yeah, so...
I know, I thought about it. I could just put pictures of my dog's butthole in there.
Oh my God, as bad as that sounds, there's probably a fetish for dog's butthole.
Probably. I know, I was at a bar mitzvah in Israel in August, and I was around a bunch of, I thought they were 13-year-old boys, but they weren't. They were younger. And they're like, what do you do for a living? And I was like, I'm an OnlyFans model. And they're like, really? Really? Can I see your page? I was like, no, but you could tell your fathers to subscribe. I didn't realize there's like 2 little girls behind me, and they come up, they're like, what's OnlyFans? I was like, they sell fans on there. That's it.
Oh my God.
And then the next day I get a complaint from my cousin that 3 parents complained about me because their children went and told their parents.
You're like, but did they subscribe?
Yeah, exactly. Did they subscribe?
That's all I want to know.
Yeah. I'm trying to get that money.
I like your way of thinking.
But I think I'm banned from any family event from now, which is fine.
You have been banned from bar mitzvahs, and you have been banned
from being around kids.
She's a great person, and she's single now too. And you've also been banned from whatever that site is. Well, were you banned from that production site or just banned from the city?
Oh, no, I deleted my production site or my listing just because. But I wasn't banned. I was, and I had a lawyer. The lawyer worked everything out with the city.
Yeah, I agree. I can't get over how cute that this dog is.
I know, she's so sweet.
It's like, what a lover. I want a boyfriend that's like this dog.
Well, sometimes I like cuddling, but most of the time I'm like my dog. He's very independent. I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to be touched all the time.
What do you do in your spare time? Like, I guess comedy. You're probably always thinking of ways to do production and.
I edit a lot. I do. Well, before I started filming, I was a fashion designer. Oh, cool. So I have all the sewing machines and fabrics, and I had a clothing line, but I lost passion for that. I think once I got sober, it ruins that work for me because I associated it with drug use. I don't know. Something mentally. Yeah. But I was good at it, and I gave up. Yeah. It's a very competitive industry. And people are such dickheads in that industry. Yeah. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, the comedy field was perfect because everyone's so, I get to laugh, and laughter is the best medicine you can ask for.
And I think too, because I did stand-up comedy for like 10 years on and off.
Oh,
But
you did?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. But I could see people liking you because you're not there to like take their spot. You're actually there to help people.
Yeah.
So from that angle too, it's better for you with comedy because people probably love you and you're good at what you do. You're very good with the production. You guys have the coolest production tools.
Thank you.
And yeah, but doing comedy is different. You might feel different if you're actually doing stand up.
I don't have the balls to do it.
It's horrible.
I feel like I'm a funny person, but I don't want to.
I mean,
don't want to do it.
Your Hanukkah story of telling the Hanukkah story you just told me.
Yeah, the bar mitzvah story.
Yeah. See, if you did stand up comedy, you could paint that into its whole thing. You can paint that picture.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I just had a.
It's brutal over there.
Yeah. Well, I was a flight attendant and I stayed in Queens. So I lived there, but I wasn't there all the time. And I had the luxury if I wanted to fly back home, I could.
Yeah.
But I just actually won. It was final. I don't have my check yet, but I was I was named on a class action against Virgin America, and this case has been going on since 2015. I mean, talk about Jewish, right? I was involved in a big court case. And
did you get any money out of it?
Well, I will. But it's Bernstein ETL versus Virgin America. So I was like the name on it. So I can never get a job as a flight attendant because if anybody looks me up, they'll see this. I can't get a normal job.
Is your last name Bernstein?
Yeah, that's why I'm
okay.
Jewish.
Yeah.
My dad's side of the family's.
I had a couple friends in high school with the last name Bernstein.
Yeah. But anyways, this started in 2015. The lawsuit. It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and
Damn.
I know. And so I guess I made a difference in some things, but we won, and I'm going to get a little bit of money. Not a lot, just a little bit.
Like how much is a little bit?
Well, I mean, it's
Like
public
at least a mil?
information. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No, okay, so.
Oh God, now you're gonna. If I tell you, it's so sad.
Like 50?
I'm getting $12,000,
Oh.
and it was a $31 million.
That's not
win.
worth the 7-8 year wait.
I know, I know.
What
But
the fuck?
well, what I need to do is flip this and turn it into something else. Okay, you can't. Oh, you can't see this. Let me flip it like this. I want everyone to see. It's like Club Random,
Clubby.
Club Bitch.
Yeah. Or Brittany. Or Bandit. That's.
Oh, is that what the B stands for?
Yeah.
I'm gonna move it back just so we can see that. And then, okay, what else? Is there any secrets that you want to talk about?
No, because otherwise they wouldn't be secrets.
Oh my God! Stop. We're both single then, and living in LA. What's single life like for you? Do you date?
I don't date yet. I've been. Yeah, I mean, I want to start dating, but it's so hard here.
Yeah.
What's it like for you?
I don't know. It's hard for me to find somebody that I actually like. This is so funny. I was just thinking this. I always go after guys that aren't interested in me.
Yeah.
Every single time I like somebody, they don't like me back.
It's something like there's a challenge to that sometimes. So some people are driven by the challenge.
Yeah.
I personally, I was going to give myself time to just be alone, and I love being alone. And I don't really care about dating or about having a relationship as much as like maybe it'd be nice to have someone to just fuck like once a week and be like, okay, bye, go away, go do your life. I don't want to talk to somebody every day.
Be the guy in the relationship. I love this.
I've been desensitized, and my whole idea of love now has changed completely because I have been heartbroken in the past, and I think I put up these walls to protect myself, but it's also changed my whole perspective of love because I don't believe in love anymore. Which maybe, I don't know, maybe there is love out there, but
yeah.
if anything, I have love for animals.
Yeah.
But men, I guess we consider them animals, right?
Yeah. Is it men that are bad? Because men would say the same thing about women or whatever sex they're attracted to, or is it just, I don't know.
I think once you get older, you realize that love isn't like we think it is in fairy tales or in Hollywood movies. It's it comes and goes.
Yeah, the feeling, you mean, comes and goes, or the commitment?
Yeah, the commitment. I think I'm at the point where I'd be totally fine with open relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did the ketamine therapy because there was parts of me I wanted to change, and that was one of them. And
I wanted to change that about me.
Yeah, I haven't had any jealousy since then.
So does it numb you emotionally, or does it just help you resolve issues?
I think it kind of numbs the whole love part for me.
Great. Oh,
But that was something that was kept holding me back and debilitating me in my life. So yes, it numbs that side.
ketamine numbs the love out of you.
Yeah, somehow. I mean, you love other things, but you also look at love like, this is stupid. I don't know.
Oh. Do you think you look at things more realistically? That's what it is. Okay. Tell me about your kind of your thoughts on the war and what you've learned and what things have stood out to you, because you said you got more in touch with your Jewish roots.
Yeah. Well, obviously what happened on October 7th was horrible, and like, it's just really scary for any Jewish person. And to think that, you know, there's a nation right next to you that's your neighbor that wants to kill you, and then see the rise of anti-Semitism and the support for these Palestinian people, and these people are radical Islams, and it's like starting to spread throughout the world, this radical Islamic belief, and it's invading college universities, and these idiots are falling for all the propaganda they're seeing on TikTok, which is controlled by a Chinese company. So if you think about it, there's a bigger picture to this war, and there's Russia, China, and Iran, and they all have one thing in common, which they don't like Western democracy. They don't like freedom. So this is a big threat to not only Jewish people, but everyone in America and everyone in Western Europe too. So what's happening is a rise of anti-Semitism, and this is exactly what the Palestinian Hamas people wanted. Hamas governs Palestine, and they're a terrorist organization funded by Iran. Iran not only funds Hamas, but they fund a lot of other terrorist organizations throughout the Middle East. And they all want to blame Israel right now and make the world look like the Jewish people are to blame, which they aren't. They were given this land in, I think, 1948 as a safe haven after the Holocaust, after 6 million Jews were killed. And they deserve to have a place where they feel safe and free, and they've never had that since they've been there. They've always have had people wanting to kill them for this land. And people say, like, well, they're occupying the Palestinians' land, but they're not, because this land was, the Jewish people have been in this land for over 3,000 years, and it's been occupied by other nations throughout different centuries. But they were given this land, and they offered Palestine, you know, their land, and they kept saying no, 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 and they'd rather kill every Jew till they have all the land to themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a scary time, especially I live in a Jewish neighborhood, and there's like, I walk around and I see these posters getting torn down and swastikas graffitied places. So I don't know, it's sad to see this happening, and it's real scary, because it's like nobody would have thought the Holocaust could happen again in our lifetime, but it's very possible that it could.
Yeah, I think people are just confused, especially at universities, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but there's that side where they want to be woke and kind of jump on the hype, and it sounds good and it gives a cause, but then to actually look at why things are happening, and a lot of them don't realize that Jewish people aren't white. They're they're Middle East, they're brown.
Yeah.
So I think that there's kind of this misconception about that. They want to, it's like, blame the white person for everything. I was very shocked to see the Black Lives Matter Instagram pages post the stuff they did.
I haven't looked at that, because they're also anti-Semitic.
I did not know this, because so many Jewish people are so supportive of black.
I know, I went to the marches when it was happening, but I didn't really realize what Black Lives Matter really stood for. And then people would tell me they're anti-Semitic, and I was like, no, but I'm not there because of like the movement, I'm there because I'm enraged by seeing George Floyd getting murdered, like
the racism, absolutely.
Yeah. But that's, maybe this is what's happening in college campuses, but it's also, like I said, China's pumping out a lot of propaganda through TikTok, and it's brainwashing the youth.
Yeah.
And these parents are sending their kids to these expensive universities, and they're just like, it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. And America's getting destroyed systematically from within, and it's scary.
Yeah.
To think that these other countries are influencing the destruction of democracy.
Now, how much of a responsibility do we put on the parent for that? And especially the parents that are paying for their kids to go to these universities, and all of a sudden they're realizing how bad it is. Do they pull their kids out? Do they, I don't know what the answer is. How do the parents intervene?
Send their kids to Palestine and see how they actually are over there. Like, Palestinians are laughing at all these people raising awareness for them right now, because they will never be accepted there. Their faith is opposite of everything we've ever been raised by.
Right.
They don't have freedom. They believe they have to kill other people. They're martyrs, if they die. Yeah, it's like, why would we stand up for any of these countries that oppress women?
Yeah.
And beat people for being free.
Yeah.
Or like kill people for being free. So it's really mind-boggling to see what's going on in this country.
Yeah, ironic. It's very.
Yeah, and then we got election year next year, and it's like, fuck, we're gonna get stuck with Donald Trump, and he's a dictator in my eyes. But at the same time, it's like, it's gonna be.
Oh my gosh,
America's going downhill.
Oh my god.
That's why I was going to Greece. I went a couple times this year because I was looking to get the golden visa, which is where if you buy property, you could stay there an indefinite amount of time. You could stay there however long you want.
Oh.
And then eventually become citizen, or I'll have dual citizenship. But I'm waiting to see how this war plays out, because right now what I see is this radical Islamic movement is spreading in Europe first, and I need to.
Oh my god.
Let's just say if Mexican cartel came to California and killed 1,400 people, whatever, you don't think that would incite a war between the cartel and the U.S.? Yeah. I feel like it probably would. Yeah. And the cartel is very similar to the Palestinian Hamas. They have tunnels. They're raping women, and it's not much different. But we don't call the cartel terrorists. Yeah.
Is it because they're supplying our drugs? They're our drug dealer.
Yeah. The people of Palestine haven't stood up for themselves, and they can't against the Hamas. And so, if anything, it sounds horrible, but Israel's doing them a favor by coming in and trying to dismantle this terrorist organization, because Palestinians won't do it on their own.
But I just can't see Hamas willingly giving up the terrorists. I'm like, there's something to this. There's no way they're going to agree, right?
The hostages, you mean?
Yeah, the hostages.
Well, they're supposed to reach a deal today.
But why would Hamas do that if
they're going to give up 50 of the hostages for a ceasefire?
But why do they want a ceasefire if they're suicidal in a way, anyways? Like, why would Hamas agree?
Okay, well, the Israelis want their family members to come home.
But I mean, like, Hamas. Why would Hamas give up hostages? They would just go until the death of everybody, right?
Yeah. And already we're starting to see the rise of the other terrorist organizations from other countries. Like, yesterday, the Houthis took over what they thought was an Israeli ship. And yes, it is an Israeli-owned cargo ship. But there was no Israelis on board. It was all people from other countries, like Britain and India. Damn. The ship was going to India. But because of this war, they're not letting any Israeli ships go anywhere. So they're like...
Because it's a target?
Yeah.
Well, I like your socks.
Thank you.
They're really cool. Is there anything else that we want to say? I can't think of anything.
What are you doing for the holidays?
Oh, for Thanksgiving, I'm going to go to a bar and I'm going to drink. mimosa.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm gonna get drunk. And it's close to my house, so I'll do an Uber or something.
Nice.
But I'm gonna relax and have fun and enjoy the moment and be happy that I have my life and I have my own life and good things going for me.
Yeah.
So it gets lonely, but it's okay. Yeah, I could go see my family, but it's a 6-hour drive.
Where do they live?
Northern California.
Okay.
So I'll see them for Christmas. But I'm
Yeah.
an independent woman. I have to be alone sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear a shirt that says independent women when I go to the bar. And I'm going to say, don't talk to me unless I talk to you. Don't talk to me unless you're going to be on my bologna sandwich show.
Exactly.
That's the only thing I care
Bring your
about.
lavaliers and your iPad with you.
I could start filming the moment I walk into the bar.
Exactly.
That's the show.
I'm sure poor bartender will have to,
Tell me to.
because no one's going to be there except the
Oh my
bartender.
God.
I'm just kidding.
I'll force them to be on my show. Look how sweet this dog is.
So she changed her mind, especially because I make the best potato gratin.
Oh, you do?
So
That sounds really
she'd be
good.
missing out on that.
Oh, shit.
Athena, you're a good
Look
girl.
it.
Athena, you're a good
Look
girl.
it. Look
Hi.
it.
Hi, world.
You're on my bologna
Hey.
show.
Hey.
Yay, ketamine. Yay, ketamine.
Yes, this
Aw.
show sponsored by ketamine.
Oh my God.
This episode.
That's what I need to get, a good ketamine sponsor for my show.
Yeah.
And boom. Or get a basset hound and have the basset hound do the heavy lifting for me because that'll give me views.
Oh, okay, I love you. Bandit, I love you too. You're a good boy.
There's another dog.
There's
over
another
there.
dog down there.
He's
But he's
a big boy, but he's a good boy.
yeah.
Large boned.
We call it pleasantly plump.
Pleasantly plump. All right.
No, I'm sorry, Bandit.
Well, thank you for. Oh my God, I didn't even say your name. This is Bethany.
Brittany.
Brittany. I mean, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I keep. Okay, you
I'm
guys-
Brittany.
yeah.
Brittany Belz.
And I am Julia Bernstein. Brittany Belz. All right. Well, do you want to say anything, dog? Look at the camera.
She goes, when are my parents coming back? When
Never.
Where's my family?
Never.
Never. Never.
Oh. Yay. Thank you.
Yeah.